This weekend, there was bombshell reporting that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's body had likely been frozen. She's the young runaway whose boyfriend, singer David, is much older, and in whose Tesla trunk her remains were discovered. Sources told several outlets that Celeste had been decapitated and that her limbs had been removed from her torso, cut into pieces, and then apparently stored in a freezer. But tonight, the captain of the Robbery Homicide Division of the LAPD is telling People magazine those reports aren't true. Captain Scott Williams tells People that Celeste was not frozen and that, quote, Celeste was not decapitated. The whole frozen thing doesn't even make sense. Her body was in the car for weeks, he said. And he added, even if she had been frozen solid when she was put in the car, which there is no evidence to suggest she was, 5 or more weeks in the trunk of a car in sweltering heat in the middle of summer would not have resulted in a partially frozen body being discovered on September the 8th, end quote. Tonight, the LA Medical Examiner's Office, the people who did the autopsy on Celeste, say that they're officially being barred by court order from saying anything about her death. And it was the LAPD that asked the court to do that. And if you find that outrageous, as I do, the ME is not thrilled about it either. The LAPD requested what's called a security hold, and a judge okayed it. But the ME says a security hold is virtually unheard of in other counties, and counter to the mission of what it says is full transparency at the ME's office. So what don't the police want us to know? All I can tell you is that the gag order coincides with the explosive reporting about the whole frozen stuff. Last week, we told you that David is now officially considered a suspect. TMZ reporting that the police have their eyes, though, on a second suspect as well, who may have, quote, been involved before, during, and after Celeste's death, end quote. The outlet says police are focusing on a quick trip in the middle of the night to a remote location in Santa Barbara County that was done back in spring. TMZ says police are focusing on that location as possibly being where Celeste was killed. Remember, Celeste was discovered September 8th, and only then because of a terrible smell coming from the trunk of that Tesla parked just around the block from David's mansion. Joining me now is Michelle DuPre, a retired forensic pathologist, former medical examiner, and friend of the show. Dr. DuPre, thanks for being on. I had so many questions when I heard this report. First and foremost, you're not going to get partially frozen body parts at the ME's office if there was a stench coming from the trunk. That would have been a long thawed, long decomposing body. But I do want to ask you if there might be some partial truth to this, that possibly those body parts had been frozen long ago and then had decomposed in the back of the trunk. If that part might be true, what does that do to a medical examiner trying to determine what happened with this body that they've received? What was the cause of death? Would freezing do something to that body?
Absolutely, freezing would. And it is possible that the body was frozen, and then, of course, after 5 weeks would not be frozen when found. But freezing actually damages the cells. It also actually speeds up decomposition once it starts to thaw. Anything that is blunt trauma, a gunshot wound, sharp force injuries, something like that, that would still be available. We would still see that at the autopsy. But anything that might be subtle, such as strangulation or something of that nature, would be much, much more difficult if the body had been frozen. And again, of course, once it's so badly decomposed.
I've got 5 seconds left. We had so much breaking news off the top of this program. I just have to ask you how unusual this is that the LAPD asked a court to block the medical examiner from releasing any details.
It's very unusual. Transparency is part of it, but it is not unheard of. If they really think it's going to affect the investigation, then it's warranted.
Dr. DuPre, I'll have to have you back on when I've got more minutes for us, because I have so many questions for you. Thank you for this tonight.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.